I'm sure you've heard the news with climate change. Summers are changing, they're getting hotter, they're getting drier. And if you're struggling to water the same old plants using gallons and gallons of expensive water, well, stop doing that. What we're going to show you is we're going to show you how to grow plants that are already drought tolerant. They don't need mollycoddling, they don't need loads of water, they'll grow with a very, very small amount. So don't go against the current, go with the current. Grow plants that are drought tolerant and not ones that just need gallons and gallons of water week in, week out. Some plants with hairy leaves, or trichomes as they're called, things like stachys, for example, and phlomis, they survive by actually being able to absorb the water using those hairs. Also, it protects them from the UV, and also it stops the water from evaporating from the leaves. So all those adaptations mean those plants can grow somewhere hot, dry and sunny, and they don't need watering, especially, as I said before, once they're established. Plants like Gora and Fennel, and indeed this Sephora microphylla, have really, really small leaves. Small leaves means less evaporation. Less evaporation means less watering. And a Sephora plant like this, once established in the garden, can survive with just rainfall alone. In really, really wet areas, you have great big leaves, like in tropical rainforests, but in drier areas, these much, much smaller leaves are a brilliant adaptation to reduce the need for watering and make the plant much, much more drought tolerant. But you can still have a beautiful plant like this in your garden, even when it's dry, hot and sunny. Rosemary and this Aleria virgata that's in our front garden is growing in a really shockingly dry place, but it has rolled up leaves, and those rolled up leaves, they conserve moisture, they stop that evaporation. So it means a plant like this can grow in the most terribly dry areas and still flourish and require almost no watering at all once established. Silvery leaf plants like lavenders and eryngiums and ericeums, they actually reflect the sun, so they don't actually get so dried out, and it protects them. And it just means, again, they can grow in these really, really dry conditions. They don't need mollycoddling, they don't need lots of watering. I mean, when they're small like this, these are beautiful little lavender plugs. Yeah, they need a bit of water to get them established, but thereafter, very, very, very small amount of water because of these adaptations in the leaf colour and the sheen on there, protecting them from the dry, from the sun, and from those really, really extreme conditions. Plants like euphorbias and these gorgeous oleanders have got these thick, waxy, shiny leaves. So that stops moisture evaporation, it protects them from the sun, and it means they also can grow in those hot, dry climates. And critically, once they're established, they need very, very little, if any, natural intervention when it comes to watering. Palms have got thick, waxy leaves. Look at these, and they're really rigid, almost plasticky like. These aren't going to lose moisture. These will take full sun. These will take really, really dry conditions because they're adapted to it. I barely water these as well, but year on year, they just get bigger and bigger. And I've got lots of these, and they're even hardy and tough during the winter time as well. Mallows, sedums, and indeed this agave, a super drought tolerant. I've had this plant for about 4 or 5 years. It's got these great big fleshy succulent like leaves. It's in a pot, and you know what? Honestly, I only water this 2 or 3 times a year during the growing season, but it battles on because it's so drought tolerant, and they even survive in the British winters, in all but the very coldest parts of the UK. So this type of plant is one of the ideal plants for the future, when water is going to be even more expensive and summers are going to be even hotter and drier than they are now. Rolled up leaves or needle type leaves that you find on yew, for example, or this gorgeous Scots pine, they're fantastic because they've got a very small surface area, so very little evaporation. So that's another adaptation plants can make. So look for plants with those needle type leaves if you want plants that need less watering, can grow in those hot, dry, sunny conditions, and are just not prima donnas at the end of the day. So in summary, future-proof your garden by selecting plants that are already drought tolerant, plants with waxy leaves, plants with rolled leaves, plants with hairy leaves, plants with silver leaves, plants with all those adaptations that can grow so easily without watering. So it means you can get rid of this.